Well, hello me fluff chucking chums, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be tying the Tophat variant, and I'm going to be using some hooks that were kindly supplied to me by Ian Woods from Northern Game. Now if you're not familiar with Northern Game, he's got some excellent fly tie materials in there, and he also does a lot of good accessories as well for sea fishing and fly fishing, I believe. I've known Ian many years, a good friend of mine, but he sent us some Sprite hooks. Now I have used these before, but to be honest, I've kind of neglected them lately, but I'm starting to fall in love with them again. The hook that we're going to be using today is the size 12 wet competition. Beautiful gauge on them, not too heavy, not too thin. Beautiful turned up barb, well not a barb because it's not there, but beautiful turned up barbless claw there. Beautiful lot. It's exactly what I look for good hookups in the hooks that I use. Excellent, really gets in there and it kind of gives you that little bit grip with it turning up, but lovely hooks. So what I'm going to do today, we're going to be tying a green or an olive emerger, a Tophat though. I tend to stay away from CDC a lot these days because I found that foam does the job and it lasts longer, to be honest, and you don't have to keep drying it off or adding floating to the fly. My opinion only, but it's what I like fishing with. So to start off, we're going to use UTC 70 in light olive. Not much of it left, as you can see. It's very popular for me. Need to get some more of that ordered up. So if you've watched the other Tophat videos, what I normally do is I start off obviously a tie on. I'll just trim that excess off. Now I cut my foam myself with the foam cutters, which I can actually show you if you bear with me a second. There's more than this, but that's the foam cutters that I use. You can obviously see where they're from, don't have to say anything. Excellent. Get a full set ranging from quite small. I think actually I'll give you a quick look. That's the smallest. It is really small. It's probably about 3 mil, 4 mil. Really small cutters to obviously the larger ones for your booby eyes, etc. Anyway, enough of that. I'm not into advertising stuff like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of white foam that I've cut with the cutter. This one's 6mm for a size 12. We're going to take this in half, just like so. Just going to take it like that and just cut that in half. There you go. I'm going to put a slight chamfer, just a slight one, just in the top there like that. And then we're going to offer this up to the hook like so. Pardon me fingers, I've been tying all morning and I've got all sorts of materials lodged under there. Right, just give it a few loose turns just to get it on, and we're going to chamfer that more. You find there'd be hair and dubbing everywhere, so I've been working on quite a selection of flies this morning. Right, I'm just going to bind that down. Okay, and then we're going to take this thread in touching turns to about that point there. It's pretty much like the other, the tying of the Tophat emergers it's all the same, just the materials will change. But I'm just trying to show you some good variations. So I've got this thread here, which is Gutman's. I'm not sure if you can get it anymore. I've had it quite some time. It's really good stuff. I'm probably running short of this as well. It's a beautiful, as you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful thread, holographic. Well, it's not a thread, tinsel should I say. So I'm going to take a little length of this off. And then I'm going to offer this up to the hook. I normally like to catch it in under, like so. Pull it down slightly. There we go, give it a couple of turns. That's caught in. Now, I normally use just a normal olive or an olive glister kind of dubbing, but I've been given this by Chuck and Duck. I put an order in, wasn't free. Put an order in and they've given us a little sample of this, so this is what we're going to use for the body, because it's very similar to the mix that I make myself. I quite like the look of it. It's got some oranges, browns in there with the green, very insecty. He's called it leprechaun, which is quite apt because obviously if you don't know Chuck and Duck, they're based in Ireland. Right, so we're going to take a little bit of this off, just dub it finely. Remember, I always put a little on rather than too much. It's easier to add than to take it away. And what we're going to do is just build up a little bit of the body. I like to roll this stuff quite tight because it's going to splay. And another little tip I can give you, what I do is when I'm starting to tie on, I always angle it like this up. It gives it like a rib effect of its own because I want it quite thin. I've actually put too much on this. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to take the excess off because that's perfect right there where I want it. Very simple fly this, really good though. So we're going to go anti-clockwise turns, 1, 2, 3, 4, binding it down quite firmly but not enough to snap. You will get to gauge it unless you're experienced anyway, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Remove that excess there. Now, unprepared as usual, but what I'm going to do is I don't like to leave the whole body like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some olive brown. You see that? Olive brown dubbing. It's got a little bit of UV in that as well. Don't know if you can catch that. Okay. I can get the packet open. Right. And this is going to be the thorax. So we're going to put small amounts of this to start with. Again, always dub lightly, I find. A nice bit of air in the dubbing. Just the way that I do it. It's not set in stone. It doesn't mean to say it is the way it's done in the Fly Tying Bible. But there you go. What we're going to do is just build up a little thorax with this. Just like so. Take a turn in there just to bind it. Lift back the foam, a couple of turns around there, and we're going to whip finish 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to whip finish again 1, 2, 3. Now you can add varnish if you like. I don't. It doesn't need it. Trim that off. Now that post's a little bit longer than I would want, so I'm going to take it down. I like the post to be about 10mm because I don't want it to stick right up. I want it to sit out. And then what I'm going to do next is grab my trusty little lollipop stick. It's just a lollipop stick with a bit of Velcro on. Cheapest chips to make, and they'll last you forever. What we're going to do is I'm just going to gently agitate this thorax area. All of the fly really, but concentrate on the thorax area. Take that off, and then I'm just going to gently comb this back. I mean, when this gets wet, it will do this itself, but I just want to show you what the fly will be like. Just a little dab of moisture on the fingers. Stroke it back. And there you have it. There you go. I'll pull that towards you a little bit so you can see. And that is the Oliver merger. Plenty damage to be done with this pattern, I can tell you now. Normally a little bit, as the weather heats up a little bit more. What we're in now, April, so mid-April into July, possibly into mid-August. Really good pattern, the olives. I tend to start off with black early on and then move to these. Now this is a size 12, but it can be tied down to 16. You might get away with an 18. You'll lose a little bit of definition, but the colours will still remain the same as you can keep the profile. But that's it. Yeah, I mean, great little pattern. Cheap to tie once you have the materials. It's not expensive. Tied on this hook, great. Looking forward to giving these a wet myself with these new Sprite hooks. But if you are interested in these, Ian's got a good stock of these and he's got a good selection of them too. So head on over to Northern Game on the internet there, on old Tinternet. I'll put a link in this video for you. Head over, grab yourself some of these to try and get tying on them. Beautifully strong hook, and I am a fan of bronze hooks too. Black nickel hooks are great and they look aesthetically nice, but these bronze ones for me are sort of the bread and butter. I'm going to do some more tying on these. I'm going to get you some buzzers done on them, some dial backs possibly, maybe even some wet flies. They're just great hooks. So I'm looking forward to tying on these more. I hope you can grab some for yourself. Again, if you want any of these ties, just ignore me. If you want any of these flies tied up, head over to Northeast Fly Fishing on Facebook there. Drop me a message and I can tie anything you want. Any combination of these. By the way, you don't have to use white foam if you don't want to on this pattern. You can use any. I actually prefer black. I think it stands out on the water a lot more. But you can use a high vis post. Orange there, you can use high vis. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. The fish see what's below the surface normally. It's just a silhouette. But I hope you've enjoyed that. Just a little short video. I hope you get out and I hope you're starting to catch a lot of fish as the weather warms up. So, tight lines, thank you very much for watching and take very good care of yourselves. Bye now.